Welcome to episode 4 of Forkin' Amazing. From crisp fried tofu to handmade curry paste, in this episode we're going to be learning everything you need to know to make the world-renowned classic red Thai curry. First up, we're going to make the curry paste. There are 4 whole spices we're going to use: coriander seeds, cumin seeds, white peppercorns and whole cloves, which we'll grind into a powder. Next we have some dried red chillies, which we're going to soak in some hot water until they become soft. For aromatics, we have lemongrass, coriander root, ginger and galangal. For this recipe, we're going to use Thai shallots in 2 different ways: roasted for depth and raw for freshness. Finally, to finish the paste, we'll use garlic, the zest of a fresh lime and some Thai shrimp paste. We'll begin by lightly roasting some spices in a heavy based pan. We're not looking to colour too much, just enough to bring out the aromatics. Once the spices have cooled slightly, we're going to grind with a mortar and pestle. Keep going until you have a fine powder. To prepare the lemongrass, we're going to top and tail so that we're left with only the tender central piece. We're going to peel away the outer layers as they tend to be woody and chop what we have left ready to be ground. Leave the spices inside and add a little salt to the mortar. This is going to help break down our ingredients into a paste. Get yourself warmed up because this process is quite a workout. Peel and chop the galangal and add to the mortar. Adding the ingredients one by one to the mortar is the traditional way to prepare this paste. The tougher, more fibrous ingredients go in first, and the more delicate ingredients follow. Heat some coconut oil in a pan along with a pinch of salt and add some finely sliced shallots. We're going to slowly caramelise these shallots before adding to the mortar. This step adds a really complex note to the dish. By now your arm is probably aching, but we need to continue with the mortar. Add the raw sliced shallots and, you guessed it, grind. Next on the list is garlic. We're going to roughly chop and add to be ground. Peel and chop ginger and add this too. Each time you add to the paste, you want to make sure it's still smooth. If you can find it, it's really worth using this coriander root. You may be used to the leaves that grow from this plant, but there's an amazing flavour that's packed into these roots as well. Chopping these roots makes it easier to grind later. If you can't find roots, you can always use stems instead. For the heat and colour you normally find in this curry, we're going to use some dried red chillies. First, remove the seeds, then tear and add to some hot water to soak until they become soft. Grind the chillies to a paste and make sure you're happy with the flavour. Add some Thai shrimp paste along with a pinch of nutmeg and some grated fresh lime zest. Really work well your paste at this stage just to make sure you're happy with the texture. Next up, tofu. We don't want any excess moisture, so we're going to press between 2 cloths to squeeze out any moisture that's still inside the tofu. Place a chopping board on top and weight down with something heavy. Before we marinate the tofu, we want to tear into chunks that give the tofu nice rugged edges, which will become really crispy when they're fried. Add dark soy sauce to a bowl and mix the tofu chunks through. Not only does this add flavour, but it really enhances the look of the dish. Remove the chunks from the bowl and allow to drain over a board just to get rid of the excess before frying. This is best done in a neutral oil like a vegetable oil and takes around 5 to 10 minutes until the tofu is nice and crispy. This is the sort of colour you're after. Now we're finally ready to cook our curry. For this, we're going to need our crispy fried tofu, some coconut oil which we'll use to fry our paste, some good quality fish sauce, kaffir lime leaves, Thai basil and coriander, a little palm sugar, and finally some coconut milk. Heat the coconut oil until melted so we can add our curry paste. We're looking to gradually bring all of those flavours out of the paste, so we're going to cook over a medium heat gently. Once smelling fragrant and the deep red colours are coming out, we'll add our coconut milk. Thoroughly mix the paste into the coconut milk and bring to the boil. Next, we're going to balance the curry with some palm sugar for sweetness and lime juice for sourness. Next, add the lime leaves and season with fish sauce. Add the fried tofu and mix through until it begins to absorb all those amazing flavours of the curry. Throw in some torn Thai basil and coriander and mix through. One of the tricks to making a good curry is to balance all of the sweet, sour, bitter and saltiness. So it's a good idea to have a taste at this stage and make any adjustments. Personally, I love a slight sour note, so I'm going to add another squeeze of lime. We're looking for the oils to cook out of the curry and rise to the surface. This is how we know when we're ready to serve. I love the intensity of this curry, so I prefer to cook down until it's really reduced. Garnish with more Thai basil, coriander and some thinly sliced pickled ginger. I hope you all enjoyed the video. For the full recipe, see the description below or head over to the website. Please do hit that subscribe button and see you next time.